Hi, and welcome to my YouTube channel, The Intuitive Composer. I'm going to do a short tutorial in Reaper on how to do some more MIDI manipulations. This particular video is going to focus on using the continuous controllers. What, might you ask, are continuous controllers, or CC lanes? Continuous controllers are a way of introducing dynamics into a piece of orchestral music. So supposing you have a French horn playing a note, da. The dynamics would be, perhaps you'd want to start it softly, make it louder in the middle, and then get softer at the end. Da. You can't do that unless you have some kind of controller that deals with the dynamics, and there are these in the MIDI editor in Reaper. And for some reason, Reaper has a reputation of not being particularly friendly for using MIDI, but that's not true. And I'm going to show you how to use these controller lanes in a way that's effective and efficient and quick. So I'm going to open up a copy of Reaper by going to my desktop, clicking on Reaper, and that opens a blank project. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put in a new virtual instrument by right-clicking over here, insert virtual instrument. I'm going to put the BBC Symphony Orchestra and double-click that. It's going to ask me about multiple outputs. The answer is no. And I'm going to change this to the French horns, just for fun. Load that and load the longs patch. Now, let's put in a MIDI item over here by holding the control key and left-clicking and dragging along. That creates a new MIDI item. When I double-click it, I have a MIDI item. There's nothing in it. Let's put in a note, say this one. Concert G. Okay? And let's just play that note. Sounds pretty unnatural because it's a flat dynamic. It's one level of sound all the way through that note. How can we make that different? Well, the first thing I'm going to do then is I'm going to open up the first MIDI CC lane by grabbing this little handle over here and lifting it up. And just so I can make this a little more visible, I'm going to move this note over here a little bit. There we go. So now you can see it. What is this? This is the velocity lane. What's a velocity? Velocity is simply a measure of how hard I hit the piano key. And clearly, when I put a note in, it puts it in at a standard velocity. It's put it at the same one, and I guess that's 96 all the time. Let's get rid of that note by double-clicking it. No matter what the velocity is, as long as it's a long articulation, it will sound the same. I'll put the velocity to 0 and play the note. I'll put the velocity up as high as it goes and play the note. Same thing. So velocity does not influence the long articulations of any instrument. It does make a difference for short articulations. So the velocity for staccato will determine how loud the staccato notes are. How can I get this to change? Well, I can add another CC lane by going down over here and clicking the plus sign. And I'm going to go over here where it says off velocity and click that. And instead, I'm going to choose 01 mod wheel. And now, just by shift and click, I can put a point over here. And now let's play it. It's softer. And if I raise this, it's louder and it's brassier. And as you have an instrument that is playing a long tone, the louder you play it, the more the timbre changes. So that the horns, the trumpets, all the brasses will sound brassier, the stringed instruments will sound rougher, as they dig harder into the strings and so on. So it gives a much more natural sound than just increasing volume or decreasing volume. So now we can be clever. I'm going to pull this all the way down. I'm going to add another point by hitting the shift key, clicking over there, clicking over here, and clicking over there. I'm going to grab this line and bring it up like that, and watch what happens. And that's how you do dynamics. There are 3 CC lanes that we will use all the time. And there are ways of automating this. And the first thing I'm going to show you is how to set up those 3 CC lanes so that they are there right from the beginning when you first click a button to start them off. So I'm going to remove this, go right click over here, select all events in this lane, and delete it. And now I'm going to hide these CC lanes. Actually, let's open that CC lane up again. That's the mod wheel. This is velocity. I'll put this in over here, just like that, just for fun. I'm going to show you how to show and hide CC lanes. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to right click on this toolbar over here. I'm going to go customize toolbar. I'm going to go add an action. We're in the MIDI editor because we started with the MIDI editor. Hide all CC lanes. And if you go all the way down, hide all CC lanes, there it is. I select that, close, and apply. What does it say up there? Hide all CC. Good. And now if I just do this, they're gone. Supposing I wanted to show all the CC lanes again, let's go up here, customize the toolbar, add a new action. We're in the MIDI editor. We're going to go show used CC. So show only used CC lanes right there. And we're going to click apply. And I don't like what that says, so I'm going to go to this and edit it and change the tooltip text icon to show CC. Okay, click apply, okay, and now we can show the CC lanes and hide the CC lanes. Show them and hide them. It doesn't matter how many CC lanes you have. I can create another one, another one, another one, and it'll hide them all. It'll only show the ones that have data in them. So if I create another one over here and I put a point over there by clicking, that's the off velocity, and then I go hide all, it'll hide them all. If I show all, it'll show that one too. Let's get rid of this and hide this. So we're showing and hiding all of them. Let us now find a way to create the 3 CC lanes that we always use. And this is going to be complicated. So bear with me, and I will post the actions that I'm using in the comments section below so you can get to actually write them out yourself. Sorry to interject, but I've made a mistake here. I'm unable to put the steps for creating the CC lanes into the comments in the video or the information about the video. So I've posted them as an image at the end of this video, which will give you an ample opportunity to do a shift print screen or a screen capture and be able to get them for yourself. I'm going to go to this icon over here, which is opening the action list. This is equivalent to hitting the question mark key. And I'm going to go to the MIDI editor over there, and I'm going to go new action, new custom action. Now you have to do, I can close this box over here. I'm going to call this create CC lanes. And now you have to do this in the order that I'm showing you, otherwise things won't work. So the first thing I do, I want to hide all the CC lanes that are there. Hide all CC. And there it is over there. So I double click it, and that's the first action. The second action is to create a new CC lane. Create CC lane. Now, if you don't have these, it means you don't have the SWS extensions installed. Go and install them first. So create a CC lane. And then I'm going to set this CC lane to be the mod wheel. Set CC mod. So set CC lane to 001 mod wheel. Done. And then I'm going to have it add a point at the wherever, well, you'll see what happens. I'm going to have it add a point in that so that you have a starting point. So then I'm going to look for Insert CC event at edit cursor. CC event at edit cursor in current lane. Double click that. Okay. And now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to open another CC lane. So I'm going to go create CC lane and make it the last clicked. Then we're going to repeat these things. I'm going to go set CC lane volume. Set CC lane to 007 volume. And then we're going to go and do, again, insert a CC event. At edit cursor in current lane. And now we're going to go create another lane. CC lane and make it last clicked. Double click it. We're going to set CC lane expression to a 011 expression. And there it is. And now we're going to add a point to it. Insert CC event at edit cursor in current lane. And now we're going to go show only used CC lanes. And now we're going to go set all CC height. And I'm going to choose 70 pixels. You can choose anything you want. There we go. Now I've done it. I've got a compound action called create CC lanes. Okay. And now I'm going to put this over here. So I'm going to open up the toolbar, customize the toolbar. I'm going to add. There it is, custom action. I didn't have to search for it because it's right at the top. It's my only custom action here. Create CC lanes. Click select. Click close. Click apply. And let's just edit this so that it says what you want it to say. Create CC lanes. Okay. Apply. And click OK. Now if I click this, watch what happens. It's created 3 CC lanes and it's put a point into each one of them. The point is 0. I haven't figured out a way to make that go anywhere else. So you have to grab, so you take them one at a time and you go to about 100. And this one, bring it up to about 100. Close enough. And this one about 100. And now you have a starting point. And if I put in a note over here, so let's take a French horn note. And like that. I'm going to move all of these over. So it starts at the beginning. And I'm going to make this one do the dynamics. So I'm going to bring it down. I'm going to bring it up. I'm going to bring it down. And I'm going to bring it up. And here we go. Play the whole thing. There you go. If you wanted just the volume to change, I would put that into the expression. So let's select everything here. Select all events in this lane. Copy them. Let's get rid of this. And let's paste them right at the same place. Control V. And now we'll just get rid of all of these again. And I'm going to set this to roughly 100. There we go. And this is what happens when you use the expression instead of the mod wheel. Let's bring all of these down a little bit because they're all too loud. Try that. Let's bring the mod wheel down and the expression up. So you hear it's the mod wheel that controls how brassy it is. So that's how you do it. There's a couple other things you can do that are useful. So we have the show and hide all the CC lanes. We can also, sometimes we want to take what's over here, copy it and paste it to somewhere else. And you've seen me do this in a kind of clumsy way by selecting everything, copy, selecting everything, pick, and so on. Let's automate this. So what I want to be able to do is select everything I have here, copy it, go to this CC lane, select everything I have here, delete it, and then paste what's there. So I'm going to do two actions. I'm going to have to go to my actions list and create a compound action. Click over there, go into the MIDI editor toolbar, and we're going to add a new action, new custom action. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to look for select CC events. Select all CC events in last lane clicked, which is the lane I happen to be on. So we're going to do that. And now the next action I'm going to look for is copy. Okay. And this is going to be copy CC. That's what we're going to call it, copy CC. Okay, got it. And now we're going to create an action called paste CC. So I'm going to go new action, new custom action. It's going to be called paste CC. And we're going to go to select CC events in the last lane clicked. Get rid of that. Select CC events in the last lane clicked. Where am I here? Here it is. We want to delete them. Delete events. And then we want to paste what we have in our clipboard. Paste. Done. Close. Now, let's go up here, customize the toolbar. We're going to add an action. We're in the MIDI editor. We have something called copy CC, our custom action. We're just going to select it, and we're going to look for paste CC. There it is. Select it, close, and we're going to apply, and we're going to change the names here because it doesn't read correctly. Edit, copy CC, and edit this, paste CC. Oops. Click apply, click OK, and now watch what happens. I click in this lane, copy CC, click in this lane, and I want to put it, I'm going to put it wherever I put my mouse cursor. So watch this, paste CC, and I put it over there. So that's how you do these kinds of manipulations: copy, paste, show, and hide, and create new CC lanes. Hide, show, create, copy, and paste. What I'm going to do is I'm going to customize this toolbar again. I'm going to put the create CC lanes right at the beginning of all of that. So it's going to go create, hide, show, copy, paste. Apply, done. And now click OK. Create, hide, show, copy, paste. And that's how you do the CC lanes. So the only thing I haven't talked about yet is what to do with the volume CC. So volume and expression basically do the same thing, except the expression isn't in quite as wide a range. The volume can go from literally 0 and unhearable all the way up to 100%. Let me just remove this point over here. And I said at the beginning that I dragged the volume up to about 100, but the reality is that the correct place to situate the volume, actually, to get it to play correctly in BBC Symphony Orchestra, is at about 80%. I only use the volume when I have multiple events in the expression lane, when I'm trying to do something with the expression lane. Otherwise, if I want to adjust the global volume, I just use the expression and it's kept as a straight line. But if you have it looking like this, with there's information both in the mod wheel lane and the expression lane, then you can modulate the volume over here, and that's equivalent to playing with the faders, which I almost never do. I prefer to work with the CC lanes. And so that's how I use the volume. And now let's just see what happens. If I want to create CC lanes and I've already got these three here, what's going to happen? I don't know. So let's just go create CC. And it didn't do anything. It put another point in where my cursor was, but that's that. So it's not going to interrupt what you have already done. If you want to create the CC lanes, they have to be empty before you put them in. And that's how you manipulate the MIDI CCs in Reaper. So this is how you get the dynamics. This is how you make your orchestral instruments sound natural as opposed to kind of synthetic and artificial. I haven't shown you how to deal with the short patches, but they are really more dependent on how hard you hit the keyboard when you're playing them and the velocities, and you can adjust the velocities in the CC lanes as well. So that is one more way that you can make Reaper into a more effective MIDI editor for orchestral programming. So I'll see you soon. Please go to the end of this video, let it run out, and you'll get the instructions for how to create the 3 CC lanes and give you an opportunity to do a screen capture. And I will see you at the next video. Please subscribe, and thank you for watching.